Hi everyone, this is Alex. I'm going to tell you about my trips to Spain. Every month I go to Spain. My mum lives over there, so I go to visit her every month. It's not really like a holiday, unfortunately, because it's my mum's house, but the area that she lives in is really beautiful. So I thought I'd tell you about that in case you ever want to go. It's also a good opportunity to experience Spain in a way that is not very touristy. I spend quite a lot of time in Barcelona as well because my best friend lives there. But where my mum lives is really different and it's very beautiful. So my mum lives in southwest Spain. It's a place called Andalusia. In Spain, you pronounce it Andalucia. So the C becomes a th. So it's sometimes quite difficult to understand the Spanish if you're used to speaking normal Spanish. I do not speak Spanish very well. I speak French instead. So I'm starting to learn Spanish. But I normally let my mum do all the talking. I normally fly into Portugal and then go across the border. And hire a car, and it's quite easy to drive because the roads are really lovely and quiet. It's quite rural. There aren't many cities in that area. The closest city is Seville, and that's a beautiful city. It's very ancient. It is full of places where you can see flamenco, and they have massive churches, this beautiful big cathedral. There's almost like a souk, there's quite a lot of Moroccan influence there. So you can walk around the city, and I really recommend that. Where my mum lives is a tiny little village. But it's near another large provincial town called Huelva, which is actually spelt Huelva, if that makes sense. And it's a kind of a port town, so there's lots of fishing boats and stuff there. It's starting to become more cosmopolitan, but I would really recommend in that area the following things. First of all, I would recommend going to the beaches. They are sandy, they are quite not too hot. It gets very, very hot in that area. At the moment, so it's June at the moment, it's about 40 or 50 degrees Celsius, which to me is very hot. But the beaches have quite a good wind that comes, the Mediterranean, but so you can keep cool. Also, there's lots of national parks, so you can see flamingos, and they also have things like lynx and camels, wild camels. Further inland, there is the mines, the Rio Tinto mines, they've been abandoned now, but if you go there, it's like a moonscape. It's massive, massive area which has been mined for copper and other minerals, and it's completely beautiful. It's mind-blowing, and that's further north from Huelva, and it's in the north of Andalusia, but it's quite stunning. You have to drive there. If you go to Andalusia, I would really recommend that you try eating fish. There's loads of beautiful fish dishes, in particular tapas, which is lots of little dishes that you can eat for lunch, and you can share them with your friends or your family. Also, I recommend that you go at a time where they have a fiesta, so a time like Easter, where they have in Seville, they have these enormous statues of Mary, the Jesus's mother, and it's all in flowers, and it's beautiful. It smells gorgeous. They also are quite famous for their horses. So whenever they have parades through the towns or villages, they have these beautiful white horses that go through. So I would really recommend going to Andalusia. Thank you for listening to my vlog. Thanks a lot. Bye.